If you have spent any time online recently, you have likely encountered a massive wave of panic surrounding August 12, 2026. The rumor states that a total solar eclipse will coincide with a catastrophic anomaly where Earth's gravity simply shuts off. According to the viral posts, the government already knows this is going to happen. They have supposedly outlined their emergency survival protocols in a highly classified document called Project Anchor. The gravity anomaly is complete fiction, but Project Anchor is a fully documented, operational government initiative. While the public is distracted by fake science fiction doomsday scenarios in the sky, the state is quietly building an automated cage on the ground. To understand how this machinery operates, we need to look at who it targets. Let's track a hypothetical individual, a young student who holds liberal political views, does not subscribe to a traditional religion, and has recently fallen behind on their student loan payments. Under the newly constructed architecture of the U.S. government, what exactly is about to happen to this specific individual? Their journey starts where most do, in the public school system. However, the Department of Education has been structurally realigned. Federal and state mandates now prioritize immediate workforce generation over civic or intellectual learning. The student's demographic profile and debt burden serve as the exact algorithmic tripwires designed to trigger their capture. The trap opens at what analysts call stage 0 of the new carceral pipeline. Massive data integration platforms gather billions of personal data points to assign every citizen a continuous, real-time composite risk score. These AI systems don't have to guess about your finances. New unified API layers give them instant, frictionless access to your sensitive tax records, employment history, and banking details straight from the IRS. The algorithm immediately flags our students' delayed loan payments. Based purely on this financial precarity, the system predicts a high probability of failure. A plummeting score actively engineers ruin. That single flag cascades across networks, triggering background check failures, credit denials, and eviction. You used to be able to move and start over, but today, unified databases track your telemetry across state lines, instantly freezing your geographic and economic movement. The state weaponizes AI to engineer an inescapable economic trap, effectively manufacturing the failures the system claims to only predict. Locked out of the formal economy, our frustrated student goes online to vent. They post criticisms of the corporate economic machine and share anti-fascist sentiments. That brings them into the crosshairs of the Justice Department. A newly circulated Attorney General memo has explicitly directed the FBI to investigate everyday citizens based on a heavily redefined concept of what it means to be American. If you are unreligious, posting anti-capitalist rhetoric, sharing anti-fascist ideology, now officially flags you as a potential domestic terrorist. The rationale used to target anti-fascism is highly calculated. The government claims that opposing fascism inherently paints legitimate traditional state authority as violent, meaning the opposition itself must be neutralized. To catch these infractions, the state utilizes its AI dragnet to run retroactive surveillance. The system combs through 5 full years of a citizen's digital history, scanning old posts and association records to find a match. By legally labeling anti-establishment views as domestic terrorism, the state preemptively cripples organized resistance. Once our student is economically locked out and flagged by federal algorithms, they are systematically pushed out of the educational environment. State legislatures have introduced draconian academic policies, like banning grading floors. These laws mathematically guarantee that a struggling, flagged student will fail out of school without any safety net to catch them. When they fail out, oversight of their future shifts away from the Department of Education directly to the Department of Labor. The state ceases to view them as a citizen in development, treating them strictly as a raw labor asset. Stripped of credentials, the individual is forced to survive in the informal economy. The state then aggressively polices and criminalizes those exact survival tactics. The school-to-prison pipeline operates as a highly optimized supply chain designed to funnel dissidents straight into state control. The moment the legal system captures our avatar, a constitutional trap snaps shut. This document is the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. While it abolished chattel slavery, it contains a massive, explicit exception clause that legally permits slavery as a punishment for crime. This brings us back to the real Project Anchor. Recently rebranded as the Florida Youth College, it operates as a formalized partnership that takes incarcerated youth, strips away their autonomy, and credentials them to serve the industrial workforce. Adults captured by the system are often funneled onto massive penal farms. Facilities like Louisiana's 18,000-acre Angola prison operate on the exact same antebellum plantation land where enslaved people toiled 150 years ago, extracting entirely unpaid agricultural and industrial labor. The modern justice system operates as a legally sanctioned physical mechanism for forced, unpaid labor extraction. Why would a modern government construct such an elaborate architecture of digital surveillance and forced labor extraction? The answer lies in the psychology of the panopticon. The goal is to extract free labor from the target and to force the rest of the public to watch it happen. The government establishes tip lines and encourages citizens to report on their neighbors or immigrants, forcing the public to participate in the crimes of the state. This creates a nation of snitches, where individuals police one another simply to avoid the labor camps themselves. This architecture of fear mathematically chills insubordination. This is the documented reality of the